Hey there folks, Peter here with BlackRock Business, and today in the world of point of sale, I'm just going to talk about some of the basics. That's right, for you newcomers, sit back, relax, and listen a little bit about what you should know when you're looking around for a point of sale system to fulfill your needs in point of sale. So the basics are, you used to have a cash register when you owned a retail store, and that would pretty much just take down your sales numbers. That's about it. Print out a receipt so that somebody had a paper copy that they actually bought something at your store. But point of sale, well, point of sale is so much more. So today's modern point of sale is actually going to do that part, just selling and spitting out a receipt. It's also going to track your inventory, track your customers' sales history. It's going to process payments. They can do a great number of different things depending on which one you get. You can also have a work order system, layaway system, customer rewards. You can fully track and report on all of your different items, departments, sales, discounts, coupons. All right, there's almost like too many features to list and just ramble off in one sentence. Really, they're depending on the industry or niche of the point of sale that you're looking at. There could be all sorts of weird special bells and whistles for that particular industry. And so really I'm going to move on to some of the basics. Number one being the two different software types that you're going to see in the point of sale world. And by type, I mean there's two different licensing models going on. The first is the more standard model that you're probably used to in years past, and that is you purchase your point of sale software and you own it, and you can install it on whatever computer you want. And then later when you get a new computer, you take it off and you install it on the next one. And you own the software, you own the license, you can own it forever, and you only pay for it once. And so if you want the newest version in a few years, the newer version, you can go ahead and buy an upgrade and go to the next version. But if you don't want to, you can stay on the version that you're in, and you can just keep running it until the wheels fall off, which they won't, because point of sales don't have wheels. So yeah, that's the buy it once and own it model, and that's kind of what a lot of the world has been used to for the last 20-30 years. Now the other licensing model is going to be the people who either call it the cloud-based point of sale, or they'll call it software as a service, because really that's what you are paying for, a service. And so you know what a service is. It's something that you don't own, and you pay for the use of it. And so a lot of point of sale companies are going to this model, and there's positives and negatives for both models. The positive for the software as a service cloud model is it's not as big of a price tag right away, but on the flip of the coin, you're actually going to pay more in the long run, because you're going to pay month in and month out forever and ever and ever, you know, as long as you have your store, or as long as you're using the software, you're going to keep paying and paying and paying. Now, another kind of thing you want to compare would be that in the cloud-based model, you're going to get all the new updates and all the new features all the time, because you're using their system, and whenever they upgrade or update or add a new feature to their system, all the customers that are using it just automatically get it. Whereas with the version where you own the license, those new features are going to be in the next version and the next version, and you would have to either buy an upgrade or buy the next version in order to get all of those new features. So there's a little plus and minus on each model. You're really gonna have to investigate what works for you. If you want to be on the leading cutting edge in your store, or if your store is a little more basic and you aren't really looking for, you know, these brand new features, and innovations that people are coming up with. So that's the difference between the on-premise and the cloud point of sale versions of licensing. Next, I'm just going to cover some of the hardware components that most every point of sale should have out there. At least I know the retail ones. This isn't so much for restaurant or quick service, but that's not really what we're focusing on here. We're talking about a shop with products and you're selling them. So for hardware components, you're going to have the main brain of your point of sale, as some of my customers like to call it, the main brain. And these days, the main brain of your point of sale could either be a computer, or also it could be like an iPad or tablet. And so really depending on which system you're going with, I know there's actually a few systems who have developed it so you can use their system on either one, which is kind of cool. But looking at the point of sale, you're going to want to figure out, okay, does this run on an iPad or does this run on a computer? Do I already have an iPad? Do I already have a computer? Is it a Windows computer? Is it a Mac computer? I think most point of sale that are on a computer are going to run on Windows these days, but there's a few that are on the Mac primarily, so that's interesting. So you're really going to want to investigate which animal this is running on and what type, and whether you already have some of the equipment, and so you don't need that upfront expense of getting the main piece of hardware in your point of sale. So next we have the barcode scanner for hardware. And the barcode scanner is exactly what it sounds like. You know, it's the little gun that can automatically read the tag by scanning the barcode, and your point of sale will have a corresponding item within its item list in order to ring people up using your barcode scanner. So you have the price and everything programmed into the point of sale. Barcode gun scanner just scans that tag or scans that manufacturer UPC, and boom, they're right on the receipt there. You quickly entered every product they have. I don't think there's a whole lot in point of sale that has revolutionized and sped up the point of sale as much as the barcode scanner, and that's why almost all the point of sales where you're selling products have them. And you might visit a shop way out in rural nowhere that doesn't have a barcode scanner and they're still typing in the numbers and it's slow, right? So next we're gonna talk about payment reading hardware, and by that I mean you got your credit card scanner or swipe, and most of the newer point of sales should have the credit card pin pad, because you got the chip card on your credit card and you're just going to stick that in the bottom so people can put in their pin number, and away you go, you take in payment. And I'm running out of gas. Wonderful. So next up on the hardware list we have the receipt printer. I don't know of a point of sale that does not have a receipt printer. It's pretty basic. It spits out the receipt for the customer so that they have a record of their transaction, and it can obviously be used for returns or for any dispute on the price. They can pull it out. It is their legal record of transaction. Hooked up most often to the receipt printer is the cash drawer, where you're going to keep your money. You got to be pretty new wave to not have a cash drawer if you think you're going to be taking all card and hardly any cash, and maybe just have a bank bag. But cash drawer, obvious integral piece of point of sale system or cash register. And then at the end we got the piece that couples with the barcode scanner. You have your tag printer, because not all your products are probably going to have a barcode from the manufacturer on them, so you may need to tag some of your own, as well as showing your price is very nice. You know, obviously you could do that on the shelf if you want, but it's very nice to have tags so that you can tag products, and the tag printer will print out barcodes as well so that you can scan them. So that's pretty much for the main hardware components I can think of. One optional piece that sometimes people get is like the readout display for the customer so that they can see what you are charging them. That is actually, I think, required in a couple states because, I don't know, because those states think that if a customer can't see what you're ringing up, you might scam them or something like that. So a few states got to have that pole display, and most don't. Otherwise, when you are looking through the feature set of your point of sale, you are going to want to focus on a few areas that are really important. Most often, all modern point of sale systems are going to have these features, and so you want to make sure that they work well for your business. Number one is sales reporting. You want to look at how many pre-made reports they have, what kind of information can be pulled from the point of sale so that you can get an eye on your business, your sales, your inventory. You want a very good reporting system so that, and you, not just a good one with good pre-made reports, but also one where you can customize reports, make and have it be real malleable so that you can make up reports that they didn't even think of because it has customization in the reporting structure. That should be very important to you. Next, inventory management. You know, if your point of sale is the fastest one around and it's awesome and it does all sorts of bells and whistles, but it really lacks in ordering new product and getting that product into your inventory system, or if that's just a big pain point, then that's just going to plague you for years to come. You're going to be like, oh, I hate ordering stuff. I hate receiving stuff when it shows up. It's such a pain. So you want to make sure that that's nice and streamlined, because if that's a pain, you're going to end up wanting to cut corners in the processes, and that's going to probably screw up your whole system when you don't want to do it right. Next feature that you want to look out for is customer management systems, the CRM, or customer resource management, something like that. It's for tracking your customers and knowing more about your customers. So when you are looking at a customer, what can you look up? What can you see of theirs? Can you see a sales history? Can you see the products that they like? Are you able to contact them or send emails and newsletters out easily? You want to make sure that you have a great system for keeping track of your customers and trends and who are they, and make an avatar of your customer and what your most likely customer is, so that you can gear your store and your marketing towards that. And then last but not least, employee management. Yes, employees are going to use your point of sale all day long, but you can't just let them go rampant. So there's two different subjects in employee management that I'm going to mention. One is going to be security. You might not want all of your employees to be able to do all of the things in point of sale, because then they can go crazy with discounts for their friends or discounts for themselves, or they can do things and put money in their pocket. So you want to lock down a little bit on the things that they can do in the point of sale. And then the second employee subject is payroll. If you can check when your employee gets in and leaves and takes a break right in your point of sale, then you can send that right over to your payroll system and pay them. And just having that included right in your point of sale is a really great benefit, because then you don't have to pay extra for some other service to do it. And so if that payroll can flow from your point of sale right over to your accounting or payroll system automatically, that will save you a lot of work and time as a manager or an owner. And then, you just want a lot of things to be worry-free in your retail world, so that you can focus on your store instead of doing all these tedious tasks that are really not even worth the time that you would get paid. Your time is worth more than that, obviously. So get as much as you can automated out of your point of sale, and it will help you a lot. My name is Peter with BlackRock Business, and I hope you have yourself a great day. All right, bye.